Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some training camp news, breakdown, and analysis. We are 4 days into the Pittsburgh Steelers 2022 training camp. Pads come on Monday, and that's when the real evaluation begins, but I know everyone is jonesing for some information on how things have gone through the first 4 days of training camp. So a really quick recap analysis, position group by position group, of where the Steelers stand. And apologize, won't be showing any video, not allowed to show any video, don't take any video during training camp aside from some of the individual stuff you'll see on my YouTube channel, but there is no clips of team stuff and all that, so that's just saying that in advance. Let's start a quarterback here. Obviously, all the attention on that. Trubisky's been the starter with Rudolph with the 2s, Kenny Pickett with the 3s, and Chris Oladokun yet to see a single rep both in team and even 7-on-7. I would say that Rudolph, Trubisky are kind of in that tier 1 in terms of that quarterback race, with Pickett right now behind. Again, it's early, it's 4 days in, etc., etc. But you've seen Trubisky and Rudolph really drive the ball downfield a lot more. Kenny Pickett, his first 4 days, his longest completion that I've recorded is just 9 yards. And so that kind of tells you that it's been more short, more conservative. He's been holding onto the ball probably a bit longer as well. Yes, there's an element of you're playing with third strings, but you're also going against third string defense, and I'm just focused on the quarterbacks as they actually are. I think overall, the touch and accuracy for these quarterbacks, especially Trubisky and Rudolph, have been good. I think a positive note for Kenny Pickett is that a lot of things have been clean in terms of center quarterback exchanges, handoffs, not a lot of dead balls, not a lot of things like that, so that's positive. Also, him keeping his eyes downfield as he moves and leaves the pocket. Very much a throw burst kind of quarterback, will run, but only when he has to. I think it's a positive overall very early in his NFL career. I would say Rudolph's been better in more intermediate game, and Trubisky's kind of been more air it out downfield, but both guys have been more aggressive overall. And I think the accuracy that Rudolph has shown in the intermediate game, his accuracy on his deep ball, which has always been pretty good, has also been evident, but it's just 4 days in, and we'll see where it leads from there. Running back room, really not much to talk about whenever the pads are not on. Najee Harris, of course, your starter. Benny Snell kind of got in the second most amount of carries and second string kind of guy, followed by Anthony McFarland, Jeremy McNichols, and then Jalen Warren, Mateo Durant. McFarland's gotten some pony work extensively where he split out with somebody else, Benny Snell, McNichols, whoever, in the backfield. So that 2 running back set. Saw that last year. Then McFarland gets hurt. We'll see what happens there, but trying to get different ways for him to potentially see some reps. Tight end room, not a ton to note. Pat Fryermuth's missed time with a hamstring injury. Zach Gentry's made some plays. If he can be a vertical guy in the passing game and then continue to develop and play well as a blocker, that'd be best for him. Connor Haywood had a really good day on Saturday, catching the ball cleanly, moving around. Has been really used as a tight end, not much at fullback, but a lot of Y-off, 2-point stance kind of stuff, not a lot of inline things, which is probably best for him. He injured his right ankle, probably a minor thing, but did injure it late in Saturday's practice, so we'll check on that at the start of the week. And then Jay Sternberger has some pedigree, but drops have been an issue. Receiver room, of course, everyone's talking about George Pickens, and it's just pads, and it's on air, etc., but Pickens has been probably one of the top players in camp overall, certainly probably the top player in camp on the Steelers' offensive side of the football. Really everything that got him drafted you've seen in terms of the fluidity, willingness to block, and I think the biggest thing is that body control, ability to find the football, and really strong hands, that ability to just take the ball out of the air, to catch away from his body and make some of those difficult combat catches look easy. He's really developed some good chemistry early with Mitch Trubisky. He's been kind of hitting him on the biggest plays that he's made. Of course, Pickens really running with the ones, especially helped by Deontay Johnson holding in, and then Chase Claypool getting hurt. But even before Claypool had that shoulder injury, which appears to be minor, Pickens was seeing time with the ones mostly on the outside, but a little bit of slot on Saturday with Claypool out. So some versatility there, but overall, just the body control, the leaping ability, the strength in his hands, it's been really good for George Pickens. Rest of the group, not as much to note about there. Some chances for Calvin Austin in terms of the screen game, jet run game. Tyler Vaughn's had a good day Saturday. Wasn't a very good athlete when he came out of USC in terms of his testing, but he's a really good leaper overall. Ability to make some really tough catches, good body control. So maybe fighting for a practice squad spot there. And Miles Boykin a better Saturday than what he had on Friday. So he's still battling Anthony Miller in this race as well. And so those guys all trying to compete for final spots. Offensive line is difficult to really evaluate, again, given the setting that I've seen so far, padless practices. The only competition in terms of the starting offensive line is that left guard spot between Kevin Dodds and Kendrick Green. Really a 50-50 split in terms of first-team reps there. So they're really framing it as a true competition. Do I think Dodson has the edge? I do, but we'll see where things go. that'll be better to watch starting Monday when you get to watch O-line, D-line, and of course the full contact run sessions, things like that. But that's the battle to watch there. Everything else has been a little nondescript aside from some different guys moving around. Jordan Tucker playing different spots. Jake Dixon playing different spots. Dixon, the Duquesne Duke rookie, really is an aggressive dude that is probably going to mix it up pretty good when the pads come on. Defensive line, Larry Ogunjobi has worked in individual and positional groups, but not in team as the team eases him back from the foot injury suffered in the postseason while a member of the Bengals. DeMarvin Leal is probably the big name to talk about, and I was pretty low on him when they drafted him. And again, full context, we got a long ways to go here, but Leal has been explosive, has made plays, has won as a pass rusher, has batted down passes in the screen game, has chased the football well, just a good athlete, easy mover despite putting on weight, getting to about 300 or so pounds after playing 280 last year at Texas A&M, and so a nice start for DeMarvin Leal. Edge rushers, good battle there. Haven't really seen a lot of separation between Jannard Avery versus Derek Tuska. T.D. Moultrie, the rookie, shown a good first step. T.J. Watt, of course, has been fantastic, just unblockable. And even in a setting where these guys can't touch the quarterback, he's still batting down passes, had an interception on Trubisky during Saturday's practice. And so Watt's been amazing, but that's not news to really anybody who's watched him for more than a moment. Inside linebacker, Miles Jack looks strong, really good in coverage. Robert Spillane making some plays as well. Not as athletic, of course, but technical and has found the football, has an interception so far and a couple of breakups as well. Mark Robinson kind of impressed me day one. I want to see him when the pads come on in run session, but didn't know how he would be moving backwards in coverage and being able to go against tight ends in terms of the pass game. But he's been doing a nice job there, I think, overall, and his run fits have seemed solid. So that's a guy battling, and it's a really good competition. I think Spillane, Bush, Jack, really, really high odds to make it. I would put Spillane in that group of the starters there, but then behind that with Marcus Allen, UG3, Mark Robinson, Buddy Johnson, those guys all competing, and I think that group's been really pushing each other in a positive way. Cornerback, seen a lot of rotation there with Levi Wallace, Akella Witherspoon, just trying to get other guys into the mix as well. Arthur Millette playing quite a bit in the slot. The battle between James Pierre and Justin Lane has been really good. Those guys have been going toe-to-toe. I think they both understand they could be competing for just one spot as that final outside cornerback on the 53. And both guys have made plays. To me, Pierre, more upside, more talent, but Lane is not going away quietly, and he's got a really strong and established special teams resume as a gunner. But both of those guys have made plays on the football in terms of finishing. Pierre, the issue last year was finishing at the catch point. He's done a better job there. Again, in practice, you have to see that translate. But both guys, I think, have been really aggressive on the football. Safety, Carl Joseph. Miles Killebrew's missed time with a pec injury, and Joseph is playing safety, also seeing some slot corner work. And so he's a guy that, really couldn't get the call up last year, but, didn't become a Steeler until the year began, essentially signing on the practice squad right before week one. And so a full off season, probably good for him. And he's showing some versatility, making some plays overall. Lamonte Casey's been first-team free safety with Minkah Fitzpatrick on NFI due to a wrist injury, and Casey's done well, had a really good practice, I think, on Friday or Saturday in terms of making plays on the football, had a breakup in 7 shots on tight end Kevin Rader, taking good angles. His run fills have been good, and so he's getting a lot of action there and a lot of reps because of Fitzpatrick's absence. So that's a guy that may have better odds of making the roster than what I initially thought as we went into the summer. So that will wrap up the training camp review 4 days in. Again, a long ways to go. Pads coming on Monday. That's really when you can start truly evaluating a lot of these guys, especially the trench players. But I wanted to give a quick lay of the land to just kind of let you guys know where things stand early and what could change and what will change over the next 2 weeks or so before the Steelers break camp. And of course, there's still 3 preseason games, which will be very telling as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We'll have a lot more training camp coverage on Steelers Depot and on this channel going forward. Appreciate you guys watching. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I certainly would appreciate that. And we'll talk to you soon.